And the highest point scorer drew the 6, so the top 6 positions have been reversed. 4 abreast, folks, to salute you. Stand and cheer and clap. These guys are going to put on a magnificent show for you. 4 abreast, saluting the crowd. And as we said, a little bit of a change at the front of the field. The top 6 positions have been reversed. Hang on to your coonskin hats, because here we go. McCosker Super Sedan Series. Off and running. And it is Mick Nicola who gets the jump. Back behind him is Steve Jordan. Matt Pascoe back there in position number 3 as Jordan moves up the inside of Mick Nicola, side by side down the main straightaway. Nicola caught up a little bit high on the racetrack as the rest of the field put a lap down on the journey. We've got a new leader, Steve Jordan. Jordan, the race leader, around the western corner for the second time. Down the main straightaway, Matt Pascoe gets himself through underneath Mick Nicola. Next one in there is Darren Kane to the better of Trent Wilson as the rest of the field go thundering by and into the western corner one more time. It is at the moment Steve Jordan, Matt Pascoe in 2, Mick Nicola in 3. Battle royal then between Darren Kane, who's staying higher on the racetrack, Trent Wilson. Then we go back to the 18 car of Brad Pascoe. That's the way they go round the western corner one more time, and have a look at Darren Kane looking for that outside drive around Mick Nicola. Nicola staying down lower on the racetrack. Back behind them is Trent Wilson, and then we go to Brad Pascoe as they go into the western corner one more time. It is still Steve Jordan. Jordan to the better of Matt Pascoe. Darren Kane around the outside, staying high. Back then to Mick Nicola. Trent Wilson would be the next one, and then we go to Brad Pascoe. That's the way again they go around the western corner, and it's Steve Jordan still leading. Here comes Matt Pascoe. Poked the nose in, had a little bit of a look. It didn't work. As they head down the pit straight one more time and through the western corner, they're coming up very quickly on Lee Noon in the 46 car. It is still race leader Steve Jordan. Have a look at Darren Kane high on the racetrack. Matt Pascoe down low as they head around the western corner one more time. Yellow lights on as we've got a car in control of the start. Go, we're racing. Have a look at Darren Kane high on the racetrack. Matt Pascoe tucks in below. Darren Kane has got some drive up there near the fence as they head to the western corner. Trent Wilson tucked in position number 4, but it's Zach Pascoe up high as well. Down the main straightaway, we got him 3 wide underneath the control tower. Steve Jordan is the race leader. Back to Darren Kane. Matt Pascoe in position number 3. Around the outside is the 28 car of Zach Pascoe. That's the way they head down the main straightaway one more time. Trent Wilson high on the racetrack as well. Mick Nicola down low. We go back then to Brad Pascoe. The 77 car of Hayden Brims would be the next one in the line. Back at the front of the field, it's still Steve Jordan. Down the main straightaway, Darren Kane on the outside, looking for some clean air. Side by side down the back chute and into the western corner. Steve Jordan versus Darren Kane. Kane high on the track as they go down the main straight. Steve Jordan staying on line. Darren Kane drifts up towards the concrete, loses a bit of traction, and Matt Pascoe closes up on him. Back behind them it's Zach Pascoe. Back then to Mick Nicola. That's the way around the western corner with Trent Wilson looking to get around the outside. Can't do it. Down underneath the tower they go one more time. It is still Steve Jordan. Have a look how close the front 3 are. Darren Kane high on the track. Here comes Matt Pascoe down low. 3 wide down the main straightaway. And it's Matt Pascoe down low. Darren Kane up high. Kane will go to the race lead down the back chute as they head into the western corner. Back then to Steve Jordan. Jordan now in a battle with Zach Pascoe. side by side, Darren Kane, Matt Pascoe under the tower. Back then to Zach Pascoe, who's moved into position number 3. Steve Jordan's the next one. Back to Mick Nicola. Hayden Brims would be the next car. That's the way they head down the main straightaway one more time. Matt Pascoe pokes the nose in front of Darren Kane. Back to Zach Pascoe it goes. On the outside, it's still Steve Jordan. Tucked in there, Mick Nicola. Back to Hayden Brims would be the next one, and then Brad Pascoe. Down the main straightaway, Trent Wilson will be the next car on the racetrack, and then we go to Adam Beachy, to the better of JJ Hamilton. Back there in position number 3, it's still Zach Pascoe. They're having a bit of trouble getting around Lee Noon. They've done that. Mick Nicola comes charging up the inside of Zach Pascoe. Threads the needle down the back straight, and Mick Nicola goes into position number 3. Zach Pascoe drops back 1. Back then to Hayden Brims in the mix as they come down the main straightaway one more time. Back behind them is car number 10 of Steve Jordan with Brad Pascoe getting involved in this as well. Round the western corner, Matt Pascoe is the race leader to the better of Darren Kane. Have a look at Mick Nicola. Nicola up the inside will go into position number 2 as they head towards turns 3 and 4. And Mick Nicola down low on the racetrack goes into position number 2. Darren Kane in 3. We drop back then to Zach Pascoe. It will be back to Hayden Brims. Next one there is Zach Pascoe back to Hayden Brims as they go under the tower one more time. Brad Pascoe would be the next one. We got a yellow light on out. Going racing this time around. Matt Pascoe to the white line. Pascoe, Darren Kane on the outside. Nicola on the inside. That's the way they head down the back chute at the start of the second of the restarts and through the western corner. Matt Pascoe, Mick Nicola down the inside. On the outside, Darren Kane. Back then we go to Zach Pascoe. Behind him would be Hayden Brims. Back behind him is Brad Pascoe. And then Steve Jordan locked in a battle with Trent Wilson. Round the western corner, Nicola down on the inside of Darren Kane. Under the tower one more time. It's still Matt Pascoe to the better of Mick Nicola. Darren Kane on the outside. We go back then to Zach Pascoe. Hayden Brims, next one on the racetrack in front of Brad Pascoe. Back behind them is Trent Wilson, and behind Trent Wilson is Adam Beachy. Car 31, Harry Doyle in the mix there with Steve Jordan and also JJ Hamilton. Back at the front of the field, down the main straightaway and under the tower one more time goes Matt Pascoe. Pascoe, Mick Nicola. They've dropped off Darren Kane a little bit. Have a look on the inside of Kane this time. It's Zach Pascoe. Having a look down the inside. In there too is Hayden Brims. So these 5 settle down to argue about the lead positions. Back behind them, Brad Pascoe. Trent Wilson making some movements through the field. Joining him in that little thought was Mick Nicola. Pascoe drives down the inside. Remembering Lee Noon doesn't have to move out of the way. Nicola goes up the inside of him. Zach Pascoe still there in 3. Go back to Hayden Brims. Behind Hayden Brims will be Brad Pascoe. Under the tower, Matt Pascoe, Mick Nicola, Zach Pascoe, Hayden Brims, Pascoe to the western corner for the final time in round 3 of the McCosker Super Sedan Series. Checkered flag, Matt Pascoe, Mick Nicola, Zach Pascoe, Hayden Brims, Brad Pascoe across the line, Trent Wilson, Darren Kane in front of Adam Beachy. As he does his lap of honour, yeah, put your hands together, great stuff.